Jojo, can you clap? Meteos, can you clap?
Hey, did I clap bad?
No.
Usually you just do it
I
once
do
to
it
like
once?
sync the sound.
Okay. Should I do it again?
Round of applause, Jojo. Should be fine.
So it's just a podcast, right? Like you're
Yeah.
asking
It's
questions?
kind of like interview type thing. Did you
Okay.
see any of the other ones? We did like Vulcan or
Yeah, I
Berserker?
saw the Berserker one, so it's basically just gonna be kind of like that, right?
Yeah, I've just got like a
Okay.
list of questions we go through, and it can be like conversational style. Like doesn't
Okay.
have to be like question answer.
Yeah, sounds
Just-
good. Am I the last one? Did everyone else go?
No, you're third.
Okay, but they're doing it together or something, or no?
They are doing it together.
Ready?
Wait,
Which one am I
which
looking at?
camera?
Middle.
Okay.
Hey guys, Meteos here with the Cloud9 Forecast, and today we are joined by Cloud9's new mid laner. Can you tell?
Jojopyun.
There
I
it
should
is.
let you finish. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a mid laner for C9, formerly on EG. Yeah, I like playing League. I'm a pro League player. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say.
You
I'm
played
from
Fortnite
Toronto.
before, didn't you?
Yeah, I played Fortnite, but it wasn't like competitively.
Okay.
I just played it in my free time. I was pretty good at that. But League is like the first game I kind of tried going pro in. So,
Cool. How did you get your start with League?
honestly, like I played League a long time ago. I don't know what age, but maybe I was like 10 or 11. I just saw it and I just tried it. I didn't really take it too seriously. Like I just played normals or ARMs whenever. And then, yeah, I just took a break. I just played every once in a while. I didn't really play too much. But then pretty recently, maybe like when I was 16, 17, I started taking it more serious because I thought I could be really good at this game and I could go pro. So that's kind of when I tried going pro and when I really took the game serious. And then I started just climbing. And then, yeah, here I am.
Cool. I think I remember seeing you in solo queue like a while ago. Your name was like Jojopyun 15 or something.
Yeah, it was like 15. I was like 15, 16.
Yeah, I
around that
remember.
time.
I was
Yeah.
thinking like, is this guy actually 15 years old? Here you are. So,
Yeah.
guess you were. Yeah. So, I guess walk me through how you got your start with competitive League. Going from playing casually to a little bit more serious to actually, diving into the pro scene.
Yeah, so I never really knew that I was gonna be playing League Pro until like I said when I was 15 when I thought I could, or like 16. And then honestly, I was like silver when I first started. I wasn't good at the game at all, so it was just kind of a hobby. And then I started playing a bit more once I turned 14, 15. Still at that time, I was just playing for fun. I wasn't really thinking I could go anywhere with this. But then when I started climbing fast around 15, that's when I kind of saw it and I thought I could go pro. And then, yeah, EG picked me up when I was 16, and I got offered a contract and to go to LA to play an academy, so I just took it, and then I just gave it my best shot, and that's kind of how I'm here now. Yeah.
So, do you remember how EG first scouted you? Like, how did you get in touch with them?
Honestly, I don't even remember. I think one of their scouts, maybe Empire or Peter Dunn at that time, scouted me. It was like I think both of them were looking at me, and they thought I was good. And I think Andrew, the GM at that time, messaged me on Twitter. Honestly, I can't remember too well. It was like a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I think they just DM'd me and then they wanted to talk to me or call me. So I just called them. I had a conversation with them and they talked with my parents because obviously they're skeptical at that time because they don't know anything about League, right, or how it works. And I think after they kind of sent the contract and they knew it was legit, then it became much easier. Yeah. But I don't really remember too well, honestly. Yeah.
Cool. So that puts you started on EG Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you played with contracts.
Yeah. Oh, I should say, before that, I played an amateur online for a little bit. It was just me and my friends. It was like Jay and Rooksy, like Shaden.
Okay.
Yeah, my former. And then I just got a bit of experience there, but it wasn't like I was in LA or anything. It was just a bit of practice competitively. So, yeah. And then I would probably say a couple months after that, I got scouted. So they probably watched me from those tournaments too. So, yeah.
Gotcha. So EG Academy, what was that like? Your first competitive experience. You moved out to LA for that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely a new experience because I was 16 and I moved to LA alone. Obviously, no one came with me, so it was pretty early. And I just had to live on my own in my own apartment, kind of like I was in uni.
You had your own apartment?
Well, like I shared it with a roommate, right?
Okay.
But like I would kind of say it was like an own apartment. like I wasn't living with my parents, you know, so
Yeah.
it was definitely a new experience, and I was much more independent. But I think I grew up pretty fast from that. It was a fun experience, honestly, because like I can just kind of do whatever I want, and we could scrim, and the team was pretty fun. So, yeah, I played with contracts there too. I thought we were pretty good mid jungle, but I was really inexperienced, so I just had to keep playing and improving. But overall, it was a pretty good split. I think I learned a lot for sure. I think we got like 10th that split. We were like last.
Really?
But, yeah, but I really
No
learned.
way.
But I did learn a lot, and it was a good experience just for like in the beginning, right? So,
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there's always that huge jump going from solo queue to competitive. It's like
Mhm.
so many of the things you can't get tested on in solo
Yeah.
queue, so you just gotta like learn through experience.
For sure.
So then you went from EG Academy to LCS. So were you guys still 10th place when you got promoted to LCS? Like, how did that work?
I think my first split in academy, I was 10th, but then there was like, what is it called? Proving grounds or something. It was like a tournament inside academy.
Yeah.
So we ended the regular season 10th, but we could still qualify for playoffs kind of at that
Mhm.
time. And I think that same split, we got like third in playoffs. So we went from 10th in regular season to third or something. So
Okay.
obviously that's a big improvement, right?
That's
so,
good.
And then after that, the next split, I don't remember too well. I think contracts became LCS.
Yep.
I played with Tomio, and I think I'm forgetting someone. Shit.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah, and then whatever. I played with Tomio, and it was pretty much the same roster. I don't think we did as well that time, but I definitely thought we were a top contender, and I really thought I was improving a lot too, like pretty fast. So it definitely gave me a good experience. Even if we didn't win the whole thing, I definitely learned a lot and just how to kind of play with the team, even outside of the game, just build that bond and how to talk with them and how to help each other. So yeah.
So then that leads up to, was it 2020 when you first joined EG and LCS? 2021 maybe?
I think it was 2022.
2022.
Wait, yeah, this is my third year.
Dude, all the COVID years blend together. It's like,
yeah, it's hard.
I
COVID
can't
kinda
keep track
messed
of
up.
time.
Yeah, I think it was 2022 was my rookie year.
Okay.
LCS, yeah. 2021 was academy, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Okay. What was the roster of that one? That was like, it was you, Danny.
Danny, Inspired, Impact, Vulcan. It was pretty stacked.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid team to start out on. What was that like? What was it like, you and Danny, the like up and coming rookies, turn into star players right out the gates? How was that for you, just going from, solo queue to amateur league to like now being kind of thrown into the spotlight?
Yeah, I really think EG did a really good job forming that roster. I think I was really lucky to be able to play with good teammates in my first split ever on LCS, because I really think they taught me a lot, because I was a rookie, right? I didn't really know too much back then. So just me playing with Impact, Inspired, Vulcan, just hearing their thoughts on the game, and me and Danny just kind of learning as rookies, I think it was just a really solid team, and I just came in trying to learn as much as possible, and I think they taught me a lot, so I'm just grateful for that. Yeah.
Nice. How was playing with Inspired? I've heard from people who've played with him in like Champions Queue and whatnot that he's like really, really confident. Yeah, confident and direct on how he wants to play the game, likes being in that leadership position. So did you like that, being a new player, like having that kind of guidance?
It's a good and a bad thing for me, I would say, because it's a really good thing, because obviously if I don't know what to do, he'll just say what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, me as a player, if I kind of autopilot, if I'm not thinking myself what to do, like if any player just kind of shot calls the game, obviously that's good. But for me, I'm kind of like, I want to shot call myself too, or like plan the game myself too. And then if someone else plans it, usually I'll just go into autopilot and just follow the call, but I won't be thinking myself what I should do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a bad thing for me. But playing with Inspired was different, because he was very smart about the game, and his calls were, obviously everyone's going to make some bad calls sometimes, but he was almost always made sense. So I thought it was pretty good, and he's just very direct, and he doesn't really try kind of hiding anything. He'll just, if something's wrong, he'll just say it, and I think it's really solid to just improve as a team fast. So, yeah.
Awesome. Then you guys went through your first split, I believe. Was that when you got... Did you win your first split? That was the Danny Pentakill.
Yeah, my first split I won, and then it just kept getting worse. I think my first split I got first.
Yeah.
My second split I got third. My third split I got fourth, and then my last split I got fifth. So now it's just.
But you got
downhill.
MVP.
I did get MVP, but I got fifth place, so it doesn't matter too much.
You can blame your team. It's fine. So, you went to MSI
Mm-hmm.
that first split.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? First taste of international competition. It wasn't Worlds, but still playing against some good players.
You know what's funny? When I went to MSI, like I was pretty delusional back then, like when I was a rookie.
Uh-huh.
So I thought the Koreans weren't that good, or like international teams were well, they were beatable, but I thought at that time I was gonna be able to easily be one of the best in the world just
Yeah.
as a rookie coming in. But I remember the first day in Korea when we scrimmed the first team, it was T1. So I played against Faker, and I really thought like he was good, but I didn't think he would be like that good.
Mm-hmm.
But then he just completely shit on me, and it wasn't even close. Like every game was just a stomp. So I mean, I definitely got reality checked, and I definitely improved a lot because I remember my first split in NA, if I just played aggressive, they would always just walk back and be scared. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know the matchups, how they're supposed to be played because everyone would just play scared, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
conceding, not trading you back.
yeah, but when I went to international, they all know the matchup. So if I'm walking forward when I'm not supposed to try getting an advantage, they would just fight me back and just know what to do, right? Whereas in NA, they would just give CS and I would just get a lead. So I had to learn the matchups, how they're supposed to be played, and just how they played macro and just how they played the game as a team was much better, obviously. So, yeah, I definitely kind of realized how much I needed to improve to be able to contest with them.
Do you ever think that makes it harder to improve domestically when like solo queue scrims against North American players? Like, do you still feel the same way where you're not being challenged, you're getting away with things you shouldn't, or do you feel like people have caught up?
I mean, I think obviously, like NA is worse for sure than China or Korea, but I think having that mindset is not good too. Where if some players just think, oh, it's like impossible to contest them because whatever the environment's worse, it's harder to improve. Whatever. I mean, sure it might be, but you can still find ways to improve, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, let's say the opponents are too bad, whatever. You can always just watch. Like my last split, I just watched a bunch of VODs of LCK and just how they played the game because I thought solo queue wasn't really helping me too much in NA, whether it's because of the ping or just it wasn't good. So, and just I did 1v1s and just learned all the matchups and just learned macro from watching VODs. And I think a lot of players in NA just don't practice efficiently. I don't know. Like you can spam games in solo queue in NA. That's fine if you improve that way. But I think there's just much more better ways to improve. But I definitely do think it's harder. But I don't think it's like a thing where it's just impossible to compete with Asia because it's harder, right? I definitely think there are ways to contest them.
Does the ping bother you? Does the 60 ping get to you?
I mean, the ping really annoys me.
That
like,
one tilts me so hard, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I started playing, a million years ago. I was like such an addict, nonstop grinder because the servers were in LA. We had like 8 ping. It was
Yeah,
so
I heard
sick.
it used to be in LA, right? And then
Dude, it was blessed. No, but for me, it was so cursed. So I grew up in Virginia, East Coast. So I had like 100 ping. I moved to LA, get good ping for like one day, and then the servers moved to the East Coast. And I'm
Really?
just like permanently cursed on high ping.
I don't know why they moved it though, because like, do casuals really? Can they tell that? I guess they can. I don't know.
I mean, it's tough. It's something about like they're the majority of the population's on the East Coast, so
Yeah.
like it helps more people, but it does suck when it's like, okay, our pro scene's gonna be locked over
Yeah.
here, about as far away as you can get.
True.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Anyway, this kind of brings us up to the present. Cloud9.
Mhm.
I remember you saying that Cloud9 was your top pick coming to this year. I know you had a lot of offers, even some international, I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because it was very late, and I basically was on C9. Like, there was no contract or anything, but it was basically agreed. And then randomly, just LCK team, they really wanted me, and they gave a really solid offer too. And obviously, playing in the LCK is like a dream, right? Because you're playing in the best league. So it was pretty tough, but I really thought C9. I think if it was any other NA team, it would have been just an easy LCK offer, but C9 is the best NA team in my opinion by far, and I think they just had the best management and players on the roster was really stacked. So, yeah, I mean it was definitely I had to think about it a lot of nights. Like a couple of nights, I was just thinking about it the whole time what I should do. But yeah, I'm definitely happy I'm on here for sure.
Mm-hmm. Has the team started feeling like the home/family vibe to you yet? I know you're new, but most players kind of have that distinction, I guess, from Cloud9 and other teams where it feels a lot less corporate-y, you know?
Yeah, C9 is much more different because like you're in a house together. Because I'm pretty sure every other org besides Shopify is like just in apartments, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're living in a house together with your team all the time, then obviously you're gonna get closer with them, right? So I definitely feel like it's more of a home instead of just a business or just like your teammates are just like only friends with them because they're teammates. It feels like there's more of a personal bond. So I definitely like that much more. Yeah.
Diving into a little bit more of a controversial topic,
Okay.
the Vayne pick.
Yeah.
So you guys picked up your first loss this last week, which I think it kind of shocked the world. I don't think anybody predicted Shopify beating C9.
I actually saw on Twitter someone placed like a 20K bet on Shopify winning
No.
or something, and they got like, I don't know how much money they got, but they must have got a lot. So
Millionaire.
yeah,
That's
it was
insane.
pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, someone on my Twitch won 100. Or they bet 100K channel points, which is a little bit less stakes, but it's still pretty
But
good
still.
payout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess thoughts on that game. That I think we've seen the Vayne into Scion before. I think Caps played it. Did that inspire your pick at all afterwards? Did you feel good about the pick? Obviously, it was a scuffed game. I don't think the
Yeah, it was a
Vayne
messed up
was the
game.
reason why
Mhm.
it didn't go well. But how did you feel about it? I guess.
I mean, I thought it was a fine pick, honestly. There's definitely better picks I could have went, but I just wanted to try it out because it's regular season and just I thought it looked
Yeah.
good that game. They just had so many tanks and no one could kill me, and they were all short range. So I definitely could have carried though, and I should have went Ghost instead of Flash. I think if I just went Ghost Cleanse, it'd be so much easier.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought
Disco Vayne?
yeah, because if I had Ghost in these fights, I really thought I could have carried. But even then, I thought I could have carried if I played Vayne better. I didn't play Vayne in probably like a year. So, but I mean, it's just Vayne, right? It's not too hard.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing good.
Yeah,
Vayne
but
was going well. He got some kills early.
yeah, but then the bot dive happened, and then it kind of everyone like kind of went.
Did you see that? Did you see what happened in the
I didn't
game?
see it in game, so I wasn't sure what happened. I thought it was like really close or something, or like it was just unlucky. And then I looked at it after, and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." Like I
Yeah.
didn't. But I thought it was a fine pick. I think I could have played better for sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a pretty bad performance though. I definitely played bad in the fights. I think if I was more experienced or if I kind of knew my damage more, I could have done more. But obviously, I didn't know my damage too well, so kind
I
of
mean,
sucked.
it is what it is, In a way, is there like any feeling of relief amongst the team in the sense that obviously losing doesn't feel good, but at the same time, there's always like this Cloud9 team, I feel like, has at least had some of the most hype we've seen since I don't know, the 2020 C9 where they were just stomping everyone. So does that pressure weigh on you or the team when it's everyone's expecting you to win? Anything less than a first place and good international performance is a failure?
I mean, I definitely think we should get first place. I think having high expectations, sure, it can give pressure, but I don't think necessarily feeling pressure is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think this team is expected to win. I'm expected to win. I think if I feel pressured, I think that's fine, right? I should feel pressured, but it doesn't really affect my gameplay. But about not winning, I feel like if we went 18-0, it would have been worse than honestly just losing now to Shopify, because just like T1, I think they went undefeated in COVID, and then they just lost. They didn't even win the split. I think you'll just get too cocky, and if you lose one game, you might not know how to handle it in the playoffs. I'd rather just lose now than lose your first game ever in the playoffs. And then also a lot of our problems kind of were raised higher after the loss, and we became more, I guess, aware of the problems. So it definitely helped. I'm not saying I'm happy about the loss, but I'm not saying I'm too mad about it either, because I definitely think it's helpful. That depends how you look at it, right? You can lose and just say, oh, you lost, or you can just kind of take away what you get from those losses, right? So
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, for me competing, it's always just the whole team atmosphere. It as much as you want, as much as you're aware of it, as much as you try to fight it, it's the more you win, the more relaxed you get about things. A problem can happen, you're just it's whatever, not a big deal.
yeah,
But
for sure.
you actually need that almost the pain of the loss,
Yeah.
to feel it and be okay, we got to stop doing this shit.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Like, this is actually going to lose us games.
It's like when my nose is blocked. Like when my nose is not blocked, I don't really care. Like I'm not grateful for it. But when my nose is blocked or I have a cold, I'm like really grateful after, right? It's kind of the same thing. If you're just winning all the time, you don't feel the pain of a loss. You don't really care too much, and you kind of get more complacent, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
But then if you like kind of feel that, what's the feeling? Just shitty.
Yeah.
And then you just don't want that feeling again, and then you'll just use it as fuel to not lose again, and really see what went wrong. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good, diffuse the pressure a little bit, like way better than getting to like the last 2 weeks or whatever. Maybe you guys are like, what is it? Is it 18 games? So you'd be like 17-0, lose the last game, spiral into depression.
Yeah.
I mean, that was literally the 2020 C9 summer, like doing so well and then somehow missed Worlds. Like, we don't want that. So, it's not the end of the world. It's a good experiment in the regular season. As far as the team goes, though, like what have been like the struggles so far you felt? I know it's always hard to come into a new team. You're working with Blaber now, who is, I mean, in my opinion, he's like the best jungler I've played against. Like, this dude is so hard to predict what he's going to do. He's very aggressive, efficient. How's it been playing with him? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, Blaber has been pretty much what I expected coming to this team. I knew he was a very strong jungler, of course, and he's smart about the game. There's maybe like a misconception that he's not, or he'll just run it down just by running it down, but he really thinks about everything he's doing, and he's just very aggressive, and he knows what he wants and what he wants from his team, and especially on carries, he's very good at just carrying the game and taking control. So that's kind of all I like, kind of met my expectations, because that's how I thought about Blaber too. He's just a solid player that knows what he needs and knows how to help his team. So I'm not really too surprised by anything. Out of game, he's a great teammate. So, yeah.
Awesome. I don't know if you have like a strong opinion on either way, but for mid jungle synergy, it's talked about a lot. Do you prefer like the mid to play around the jungler, or the jungler to play around the mid, or like just going to be totally champion specific? Do you have any philosophy on that?
I think it just depends on the meta, honestly, because my first year coming into LCS, I was mostly just playing for my jungler. It was the meta at that time, and I was just not good being the carry. Like, I really couldn't carry games back then, and now I'm much better at carrying games. But I think the meta right now is just jungle's not too strong. Maybe it is, but who knows? But I don't think it's too strong.
They're always crying. Yeah, they'll always say it.
I think it just depends on the meta, honestly. If it's very strong for jungle, obviously I would play for jungle.
Yeah.
Or it just depends on the champs, what champs are strong. So, yeah, I think it always depends. I don't really mind which role I play, honestly, as long as we win.
Good. That's good. Good to be flexible.
Yeah.
So being a pro player, it's the dream. What are some of the difficulties of being a pro player that people might not see from the outside?
Difficulties, honestly, just being away from home, right? I guess that's pretty normal for like anything if you're in uni, I guess, but just like being away from your family, being away from your friends, and for a long time, and just focusing on just whatever you do, just being the best, right? You can't really get distracted, which is, I don't know if it's really a hard thing, but I guess it's hard for some people if you don't really enjoy it or just have passion for it. But I would definitely say just being away from that long of a time and just committing basically your whole time for this, for like however long it is, which is usually a long time if you're winning, right? I would say that's the hardest thing, and just not getting complacent or lazy. Yeah, and just trying to reach that goal of just keep improving every single day, you and your team, and just getting better. Yeah.
Do you feel affected at all by like what fans say? Do you go on Reddit, read about like your games, or see people tweet at you, or is it just kind of like background noise?
I mean, it's understandable, like if someone plays bad, then people are going to say you played bad. I don't really think that's too crazy. It's kind of like in anything, honestly. If you do bad, obviously there's going to be people saying you played bad. It's not personal. It just happens to everyone, right? So, I mean, I don't really think if someone gets flamed, it's like, it just depends how you take it, right? For me, if I get flamed for playing bad, I mean, I probably played bad. It's like, whatever, I don't really care. Like, obviously, I care to improve, but if the fans say I don't really care too much, if I play well, I know I played well, and then it just feels good, right? But I think I think a lot of players really can't control how they take it, I would say. It's really all up to the player, because, like, you can control it yourself if you respond badly to the feedback or however they say. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to have taken it pretty well, especially for like a young / new player. I know for me, like in the beginning, like when Cloud9 came into the scene, we got like so much praise and it felt great. But then like it got flipped on us when we started losing and it felt really bad. But like I don't know, you specifically are like fun to watch because you have this like super laid back personality. Like you just seem like chill about everything, which it's kind of rare.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in game you shouldn't. Obviously, I get excited. That's normal, but
Yeah.
I think using that excitement or using that sadness in game is not good. I feel like just being stable is the most important because that's how you're gonna play the most. I would say logical.
Yeah.
I don't know the right word for it, but just not playing.
That works.
Yeah, just not playing emotional, right? So
Yeah.
I think obviously you can feel good when like someone makes a crazy play, but you shouldn't let that affect your next play or how you play the game. So that's kind of how I see it. Yeah.
Nice. What do you do for fun outside of League? Is there anything you're up to? You playing any other games? You going out? Obviously, most of your time is spent on League, but outside
I mean,
of that.
I have like a mindset, like when I'm back home in Toronto, I just do whatever. I just chill, watch Netflix, just go out, see my friends, see my family. When I'm in LA, it's kind of like a different mode. It's kind of like a working mode. I'm mostly just focusing on League. I don't really do anything else when I'm in LA, honestly. Besides just try winning and try being with my team and just playing well. Let me think. I don't even play any other games. Maybe back at home I'll just play random games, but in LA I just try focusing on just playing League. And yeah, that's basically it.
No Pal World.
Yeah, basically.
That's good. Honestly, it's like the distractions they sneak up on you. Like there's girlfriends. There's like new games that come out. There's everything. Like new show comes out, but it's like it's all just trying to take your time away. Like I don't know. The one thing that I've noticed is that's been like consistent in like every region, all time periods. It's like the team that's winning, that's the best, is the team that's putting in the most time.
For sure.
Almost without fail.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's for sure. Like, if I could go back and tell myself something, that's what it would be. Is just like, bro, you gotta stop getting distracted. So, but I mean, it sounds like you're doing good. Sounds like you're doing real good with it. One question we had was, they played some sounds at the game in LCS, where pregame when you guys were talking about. Did you guys ever get to have that shared pee in the stall?
I mean, I wanted to, but it's pretty personal. I don't wanna say it to in public.
Yeah.
I mean, we might have. You never know, but I thought it was a pretty good idea because it's pretty intimate. So if you kind of get past that, it's like a closer bond with your teammates. So yeah, I really didn't think it was that crazy.
Yeah. I respect it, man. It's some team bonding. A lot of changes coming into this year for League. New items and whatnot. How do you feel about the new map, the grubs, all the changes around mid lane? Do you like it? Hate it?
It's definitely something new, which is nice because I feel like the map has been kind of the same or really small changes for like a really long time. I don't know exactly if the changes are good. I feel like just removing so many of the walls and just replacing them with bushes, I mean, it's new, but I don't know if I like it yet. It's nice that it's harder to gank mid now because the bushes are farther. And the grubs, I mean, it's nice because there's much more fights early now. So I guess it's just something new. They want to see more fighting, right? So I don't mind it too much. It's new. It's refreshing. So, yeah.
Do you think they're OP? Like, I feel like everyone has different opinions on the grubs. Some people, like, will throw the game for a chance at one grub, and other people will happily give 6.
I don't think it's that OP, but I think it depends on the comp, too. I feel like if you're snowballing and you're ahead, and if we're ahead and control the game, they usually can't just push and hit turret as much, right?
Yeah.
So if you get a good trade for grubs, whether you die bot or just get an advantage, I think it's fine. Also, I think it depends on the champs too. If some champs are just really bad at hitting turrets and they can't split it well, I don't know if you're playing Karma mid or something and just useless top laner that can't side, it's also fine. I think it just depends on the game, honestly. I don't really think I can say it's like strong or not. I think there's just too many.
I mean, it's situational.
Yeah, but I think it's strong. It gives a lot of EXP too, so I don't think it's bad. Yeah.
Cool. Last, we've just got, what does success mean to you? Philosophical.
This is like I think I tried getting into like like a private school or something when I was in middle school or something,
Mhm.
and that was like the question. It was just like, what does success mean to you? But I don't remember what I said. Honestly, just feeling satisfied with whatever you do. It can be anything, and just yeah. I don't really think it's. I'm not gonna give too crazy of a like answer. I think just whatever you do, you know, if you're satisfied and you think you're doing a good job and you're just fulfilled, I think that's success. I don't really think the materialistic things matter too much for success. I mean, I would say some people look at success as like how famous you are or how rich you are, which I mean makes sense to some
Doesn't
people.
hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt for sure, but I think there's more important stuff than just materialism for sure.
Yeah.
I think obviously it's not a bad thing, right? I'm not saying it's bad,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's the only thing that matters in life. I think just finding fulfillment in whatever you do and just being fulfilled that way, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have like too crazy of an answer. So.
No, I mean
Just
that's good. It's kind of not something people think about all the time, but
Mhm.
you know, it's good. Just being happy, satisfying what you're doing, just enjoying life.
For sure, yeah.
All right. Lastly, we've got some fan questions, so I'm just gonna shoot them off and
Mm-hmm.
give them your wisdom. First one: I'm new to League of Legends. Which lane/role should I start out playing? Are some roles easier or harder than others?
I think support is just broken. If you only care about rank, just pick support because it's easy, and it's broken. I think if you got like a challenger support player and put them in mid lane, they'd probably be like gold. So, like maybe not gold, but like, you know, I just think it's easy and it's if you want to climb, then you should play support. But it's boring, so just depends on what you want. Yeah.
All right, gotcha. Next one. Oh, I'm answering too. Support, yeah, nice and easy. Pick some Yumi.
Yeah.
Hands-free experience. It's a free low. Next one we've got. What's the best way to avoid getting ganked? I feel like I can outplay my laner, but always die to the jungler.
You know, I had that problem too, so I don't know if I could answer too well. I think if you play really well, you can 2v1, but I don't think, you know, you have to like play pretty well. You just have to look at the map a lot and just ward well. Yeah, just keep looking at the map, make that a habit.
Yep, for sure. I would only add, obviously I'm the jungler, so I'm not
Mhm.
getting ganked as much. But when I lane, when I'm working on my off roll, I feel like just playing for prio, like trying to keep your lane pushed and then moving around,
Mhm.
actually makes it harder to get ganked because you're just like never in your lane. You just
Yeah, for
shove
sure.
your minions, go ward something, gank their jungler, gank another lane.
Yeah,
Just takes out of the equation.
yeah.
Next one. My waves are always in bad spots, so I have to walk up to CS and die. How can I make sure my waves are more favorable?
I mean, there's like no easy answer to that. You just have to learn how to manage your waves well. You can watch pro players. You can get some coaching. Yeah, there's not like just a simple answer to that. You just have to get better. You know, however you want to get better, just get better.
Yeah, I mean that's for sure. You could probably get a PhD on lane management. There's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
I guess the basics would be if you have more minions, your minion wave will push toward them, and once it gets to their tower, that's a crash, and then it'll push back toward you. So if your wave's pushing, try to crash it before you recall or whatnot if you want your lane to not be in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
Last one we've got. I feel like I'm not using wards and vision effectively. Do you have any tips on when/where to ward, when to sweep for wards, how to play around vision?
That's a hard question. I mean, I don't know what role that person plays, but usually, like really basic, if you push and you crash a wave, you want to get wards. So usually if you have a timer where you can just push your wave and get vision in their jungle, that's helpful. And you can see where the jungler is. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have like a good answer to that because it's like there's so much you can say, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's for sure another one of those like real deep answers. But if I'm just trying to give a quick one, it would be, warding the jungler camp that's closest to your lane is actually really good. Like
Mhm.
mid lane warding their raptors is good. If you can't do that, just your nearest bush in the river can be super helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as when to sweep, how to play around vision, The thing I learned from a coach one time was it was like, you want pink words on your rotation path between lanes so like they don't see you moving, and then your regular words on their rotation so you can see them, and you can like camp on control words, whatnot, try to get picks that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot to it, but those are some ideas.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. If you have any more questions, you can put them down in the comments below. And
yeah, it was fun. Shit, I have to say more. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it was a fun podcast. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Thank you.
Give a little insight to the fans, just see how you're doing with the team and whatnot. We'll see you next time.